Lights.
Camera.
Action.
Hi, I'm Florencia.
Hi, I'm Yasmeen.
Hi, my name is Myles.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm looking into doing production and film when I get out of high school and go to college.
I've been doing acting since I was a kid, and I really enjoy it.
I decided to research film and production because I know it's something I've always wanted to do.
I've been editing videos and movies since I was a little kid. I'm on this road trip because I'm looking forward to, after high school, going to college and studying film and production and just doing what I love every day.
I want to be in Road Trip Nation so I can experience and go through and see what I really want to do when I get out of high school.
Being an actor, being on TV, or even having my own show was something that I was interested in.
Just hoping to gain a better understanding on how to produce movies and edit them by taking this Road Trip Nation project, explore the different areas of the field of film and production.
Hi, I'm Yasmeen.
We're Avid, and we project interviews sometime, and our group is doing film and production.
Big dreams of Hollywood, won't you come take a closer look? I'm seeing the bright lights, the fancy cars, cover of magazines. That's what I want, but if you can look inside my heart, then you will see. Come a little bit closer, we're not so different at all.
Our first destination was to visit George Ohan at the Los Angeles Film School.
Next, we interviewed Gabby Rodriguez from Days of Our Lives.
Next, we interviewed the executive producer of Dan in Real Life, Darlene Lequette.
And last, we interviewed Catherine from NBC News.
What were you doing at my age?
I was thinking about how cool are the Simpsons, and I love hamburgers. I mean, I was thinking about eating and cartoons and nothing major, nothing that was a lifelong goal, and I never had many aspirations or thought about something bigger or better or anything like that at that age.
When I was 16, I was just really motivated and just like trying to stay positive, and I was thinking like, you know, one day like things will come my way, like if I just keep working hard, and I always try to stay really motivated, and I think that's really important.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I didn't want to be a film producer. I wanted to be a news reporter. And, you know, I'm half Cuban, so a big thing when you're 15 and you're Cuban is having a quinceañera. So like the last part of my 14th year, it was all about planning this big musical production because, you know, the quinceañera is like a whole dance production and music and huge party, almost like a wedding.
Did you go to college?
I didn't even think about college until late into my senior year, and I was like, wait a minute, you have to do something when you graduate. You gotta get on this. And so as I started to try to apply and look for schools, my GPA obviously hurt me a lot, and so when I met up with some of the military guys, they told me how I can get some education in the military, get some training, and I took all of their advice, and I think that's what finally saved me and got my act together.
I did. I went to Azusa Pacific University. I studied communication with an emphasis in journalism, and that's what I got my bachelor's in, Bachelor of Arts in. And I also went to Fordham University. I did a summer city semester. So I spent the summer in New York, and I did an internship at Rolling Stone magazine.
When did you officially decide on a career?
Once I broke down all the careers, all the industries, I came up with the entertainment industry, and then the job that makes the most amount of money was producer. So I said, okay, I'm a producer in the entertainment industry. And as of this March, it's been 3 years that I've been down here. Now I'm a full-time working producer.
It was interesting because in college I did a lot of internships because, you know, when you do internships you get college credits. So I did an internship at Rolling Stone that summer and realized, like, I don't want to do this.
That I consider broadcast journalism, which I hadn't really considered at that point. I just didn't think that was something that I could ever do. And then I started looking into it and investigating it a lot more, and that's when I became intrigued by the career.
Who inspired you into joining this field?
Well, I would have to say my dad, because my dad always said, don't chase money, chase something that you love. So don't look at your career as a job, look at it as doing something that you love.
I don't think I have a specific person, like an actor and actress that inspired me. I think the people who inspired me were my parents. Like, they always motivated me to, follow my dreams, do whatever I want.
I don't think I really had a prominent inspiration because, again, it was just something that I started studying and looking into. Once I became familiar with it and working as an intern in individual newsrooms, then I became inspired by some of the female anchors that I was surrounded with. But as far as an inspiration that made me kind of make the light go off as far as wanting to do this, there really wasn't one.
Describe your average day at work.
Average day is 5 o'clock wake up and midnight sleep, and in between there's everything. I mean, the reason that I got to go to sleep at midnight is because I have to cut myself off, or else I'll just be up all night editing and doing whatever else and sending messages and emails, and it'll never shut off because the work's forever.
Average day, to be a film producer, you have to really love to read a lot. So an average day would be trying to find new projects, which would mean reading 2 to 3 scripts a day, or reviewing treatments or summaries of the scripts, and then so that would be like the first part of the day, and then the second part would be making calls, because you've got to constantly be meeting new directors, new writers, talent out there, and then when I'm in production. A big part of, actually my whole day, a production of a film is anywhere from 2 months to 5 months. So for that whole time when you're shooting a film, your whole day is on the set, making sure that everything is happening, that, all the shots that were planned out for that day are being shot, that your director's not going over on film or time, and that the actors are showing up and everything's going smoothly. Mm-hmm. But when you're shooting a film as a producer, you have to do that for 90% of your day, and then you have to also find time to try and get your next project up and running.
Well, no day is really the same. Today is nothing like it was yesterday. I arrive normally at 1:45, 2 o'clock p.m., but today I was running a little, got here about 2:10, and I immediately got into my computer because I also write a magazine column, and that column was due a week ago. And so I needed to get that sent off immediately. And then I found out that I have a 5 o'clock guest in studio that I'm going to be interviewing during the newscast. So I needed to also call her and do a pre-interview so that I could be familiar with her story and be able to ask some educated, enlightening questions of her. And I'm going on the air in less than an hour, so I have an hour's worth of scripts to get through. The newscast is an hour, and then we have about 20 minutes before we get ready for our next newscast, which is at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I drive home for dinner so that I can spend time with them. So at 7 o'clock, I will get in my car and I will drive 25 minutes home so I can have dinner for an hour, and then drive back and get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast.
What is your favorite part of your career?
Interaction with people. I feel like that's my favorite part of the job.
My favorite part of my job is being able to find ways to bring a filmmaker's vision to life. Finding he or she all the tools that they need to take something from being on the page and being a script to being this like visually stunning production.
One of the best parts is that you meet extraordinary people who are really ordinary people, but they're doing extraordinary things, and sometimes their stories fall under the radar, and so I get to tell their stories and share their stories, and in the process educate people on a lot of different things that are going on in our community, in our world, that maybe you might not be familiar with or may know about, because we all tend to live in isolated little bubbles sometimes. So it's really important to kind of share what's going on in our communities and in our world.
If you could go back and change something in your life, what would it be?
My grade point average and being a better student in high school. And it's so important, and you don't think about it at all, because unless somebody's told you about it. So right now, as of today, it's important. Nobody really sat me down and said, hey dude, do that, it's important.
No, because I think that everything happens for a reason, so you shouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
You should just take it for what it is and learn and change yourself to be a better person if you do make mistakes, and just better yourself.
I wouldn't change anything. I'm happy with the way my life has gone. I think I haven't always chosen the easiest road. You know, the film business is not one of the easiest businesses to get into if you don't have connections in it already. So I did have to do a lot of networking and, you know, extra work that I probably wouldn't have had to do in another industry, but I would never change anything about that.
It would probably have to do with college, and I think I probably would have taken it a lot more seriously. I got really good grades, but I can't remember a darn thing. So I probably would have taken it a lot more seriously and maybe double majored in history or political science, or maybe even minored in Spanish, because my Spanish is terrible. So I probably would have taken a different course as far as my education goes, specifically what I got my degree in. But everything else, I think, I don't think I'd change anything, because I'm in a really good place right now, and I think it's all a result of not only the triumphs, but also the challenges.
What's a piece of advice you have for us?
Start doing it. Right now is such a phenomenal time to live in because of HD technology. We're sitting here with laptops, we're sitting here with cell phones, you guys are recording me. If this was 10 years ago, you would have to do this on film, and it would cost you $2,500 to do this interview. So right now, it costs us nothing. We just push a button. We're just so almost getting arrogant about it that it's just so easy. We don't realize this is worth something.
Definitely need to have very thick skin, because there's going to be a lot of rejection. They're going to tell you no, 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 and you have to stay strong and you have to stay positive, because it's very easy to get discouraged and let down. So I think if you just, focus on what you want, if you really truly wanted that, you can just keep going.
I would say make sure you find something that you absolutely love to do and that doesn't feel like a job, but feels like a life calling.
The connections are endless, especially in Los Angeles with regard to what you just mentioned. So I would definitely study hard, though, because those are both careers that are extremely competitive, so you want to be able to have your education to fall back on. And I would also say that at your age, to be very, very mindful of social media, because it is your digital footprint, and everything that you put on your Facebook page or out into the internet universe can come back and bite you. So before you post anything, before you say any comment on anybody else's post, always think, if this were on the front page of the newspaper tomorrow, would I be embarrassed? It's a filter that you can always run through, and if you have to question whether you would be embarrassed or not, it's probably something you shouldn't do.
After interviewing these resourceful people, I've realized that this is something I really do want to do. Interviewing them has really given me so much more information on the field itself, and showing me that I really did choose something that I'm interested in.
After interviewing with these amazing people, I've realized that the field of film and production is a tough field to get into, but if you're willing to put in the time and make those connections, you'll get repaid by the great things that you can do.
Road Trip Nation was a journey for me. Now I see how hard they work and what they do, and basically what their lives are. And I think Road Trip Nation, all in all, was really great.
After interviewing all these people and going on this really long road trip and doing all this hard work, having an experience and knowing that this is what I want to do.
And that was our road trip. And scene.